Hey there, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. Welcome to your reading for the next 3 months. We're going to take a look at November, December, and January, each individually, and sort of all draw together collectively. I will pull cards for thoughts, feelings, and actions for each one of them. There's a few things to keep in mind that are happening astrologically over the next 3 months that are really going to affect the energy that comes out in this reading. Is we have this coming up in just a week or so. We have on the 18th, we have the conjunction of Mars and the Sun, which is like a reset. It resets like a cycle for Mars, and because it's in Scorpio, its home sign, this is going to be about things that you're passionate about. This is going to be around matters of sexuality, sexual attraction, other people's money, death, taxes, that kind of financial stuff, and also things that are mystical and things that they call tarot, for instance. So you may find over the next couple of years that you dive a little deeper into tarot and you find more value in it. So it could be something like that. Then we have a Mercury retrograde coming up. It goes into shadow right here toward the end of November. I can't remember the exact date, but it's in the 20s. And then stations retrograde on the 13th of December. Stations direct again on January 1st, and then clears its shadow right in time for that full moon that we're having at the end of January in Leo. That full moon in Leo coincides pretty much with Uranus stationing direct, which means that after the end of January, all the planets for a little while they're going to all be moving forward. Everybody's moving direct, and so this time is a time to really kind of order things up, get your ducks in a row, sort through some issues. And so looking at it like in a big pile of stuff like this is actually going to be really beneficial for doing some planning for when things get busy and things get fast. And so especially as we're coming up on the holidays, now's a really good time to kind of take a look down. What do you want to create and manifest for yourself in 2024? I am going to create another set of videos for you for 2024 before I take a break. I'm going to take a break from the channel until the end of January. I really need a break. I'm going to go home for a little bit. I'm going to work on some ideas when I come back. The channel will be different. So if you like what you get here, it will be a little bit different in a way that probably you'll find more useful, and some things will be the same, but I just hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you'll know when I come back. All right, so let's take a look here at November. So we're going to look at thoughts, we're going to look at feelings, we're going to look at actions, November, December, January. Okay, so let's start with November here. You have the Fool card. So Summerlands. I mean, this dude is thinking about a new start. So we're coming off of this eclipse, right? So we're coming off of this eclipse, and it was an ending so a new beginning could come in. And that eclipse is in Taurus. It trines your sign. It is an opportunity for you to really take a look at what's happening there. The full moon in your sign doesn't happen until we get into February. It's actually like right there, right? It's at 5 degrees, so it's going to be right there at the beginning of Pisces season. So I think it's right around the 21st, something like that. So I think if you start looking ahead to that, this is the thoughts about what are you going to really, but we're coming off at this one, and then we're going to have a space to create and to start launching from there. So for you, we have this loss and this optimism. Okay, so they're both in the reverse. Okay, which means that the loss isn't as bad as you think. And I think this optimism is a little muted because there was a loss. But I think you recognize that with every ending becomes a new beginning. And so while you can see that there's going to be a new beginning, she's looking toward the sunrise, but he's still in the dark here. And so it's almost like still waiting for the light to come in. I want to see what this action is. Oh, the action is about completing the cycle. Okay. Yeah, there was a completion that came in with that for you. Some major cycle has been wrapping up in some direction for you that you have found you're okay with it. That's what I want to say. It feels like you're okay with it. You recognize it was a loss. There may be things about it that you didn't like, but there's also this part of you where you're like, but that's over. Where do I start building now? What comes next? Because in the heart space you have this number 9 of cups. But this is spirit filling up the cups of joy for you. And so the more you come into peace and in center with yourself in your heart space, the more the joy comes in. Yeah, you see that something new is coming from this. So we have the Fool card, and then we go into this card that says emerging. I am emerging into the light with joy and ease, right? I'm emerging into the light with joy and ease. You're not racing into it. There's a little bit of a shift to get you there. We do have a Mercury retrograde coming up, and that may be what slows things down for you, right? Because that Mercury retrograde is going to be last degrees of Sagittarius and first degrees of Capricorn. And so that first degrees of Capricorn is going to trine the area where we just had that eclipse, and then also the area where your new moon will be coming, your full moon will be coming up. And so there's kind of this flow of energy around that space that's up for review in the things of earth. And so that would be in the early stages, the first decan of a sign. That is the initiation. That is the getting to know and understand. And I think there's an awareness that is coming in about that seed, the newness of it, the seed of it. Because here we have the card of temperance. And so it's the circle, though. It's understanding that the circle, the death leads to rebirth, right? Things have to fall away in order for new things to come in. And I think you have a real understanding of that, being an earth sign and being basically the gardeners of the earth signs. And so I do think there is an understanding and an awareness of this. So here we have the outer core, which says fluidity. These are the cards too want to come, so we're going to let them. We have the card of the hearth and comfort. There's the gravity, groundedness. It's about letting things fall into place. It's about settling in. We're coming into, in the Northern Hemisphere, the dark part of the year. And as we close out, and we start moving toward that solstice, the more we draw our energy in, the more we use that energy to really tap into our innermost knowing and nurturing and caring for ourselves and pruning away what doesn't work for us, right? To allow space for new growth to come in. And so we have the card of time. That makes sense. This outer core, this fluidity, this is the willingness to be flexible, right? You're a mutable sign and you understand that. I think that you get that there is a cyclical nature to things that are happening. And right now, it's kind of time to pull your energy in, go to ground, allow yourself to feel safe and nurtured and secure. I got to see that you are willing to walk away from something in order to find joy and happiness. And so it's a loss because it's a change. So it could be retirement, right? You're walking away from this job you've had for a long time, and it's going to be weird not getting up every day and going to work and seeing the same people and doing the same things. But on the other hand, you understand that there, on the other side, is the freedom to create something new for yourself, a space to create a new version of you or pursue something new, right? It could be a job change. It could be a relationship change. Although, to be honest, it could be a relationship change, but you could be moving from one place to another. There is something that is ending, so something new can begin. That is that energy, that eclipse that came in that was trining your sign. It feels like a much longer pattern than just these 3 months. They keep showing me the full moon in Virgo. That's what they keep showing me. So there's something about the timing of all that. It is also, the last full moon we have before we get an eclipse again. So maybe it's this whole section of time, the 6 months between the eclipses, that for some reason is really creating the space for you to really make some significant shifts and changes in your life in some way or the other. And so here on your thoughts, in January, we have this Eight of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups, and look, and it's that full moon energy, right? The sun is opposing the moon, and the moon there is not fully seen, so it's a full moon eclipse. And these Eight of Cups. And so again, I think that the season between these eclipses has a lot of significance for the development of something in your life. The walking away from something, but it doesn't, even though it's a loss and a change, and you're not 100% excited about it. So maybe it's kind of forced on you, but at the same time, I think you see that there's something good coming out of it. There's a delay. I, to be honest, don't know, but I think you're trying to delay something. It's in your thoughts. It's almost like this eclipse that just happened showed itself to be something that needed to be changed, like an ending that needed to occur. But you're Virgo, and you're like, but wait a minute. Hold on up, everybody. I'm not going to just rush into that. I need time to shift through it, right? You're immutable. Like, I'm willing to make the change, but I need a little more time so I can get all the ducks in a row, so I can organize everything. You have the card of protection and wisdom, and so I think that you understand that you need to protect your assets. You need to protect some situation. You need to create a soft landing for this change. I think that's something that seems really important. So I almost feel like, because this it's weird. I don't read on the tarot cards. I don't read them as reversals, but this one was reversed. And I thought it felt like it didn't really want to go in the upright when I picked it up. And so I think that you are aware that there is an ending that is coming. And you're like, yeah, but just not yet. Just not yet. I need to get some stuff organized first. And so I think that there's this timing aspect, and you're trying to manage time. And you have the card of tiny triumphs with the Mother of Cups. So in the heart space, that is very nurturing, but it's intuitive energy. Tiny triumphs. A big mouse dressed as a circus trainer is holding a small eagle. The situation is inverted. The predator is small and the prey is big. This card urges us to believe in ourselves. Don't ever think you're too small or too outmatched or in a situation, in a situation, too outmatched in a situation, sorry. Inner size is what matters. Think back to a time when you felt good about an achievement. Don't give up now. With the patience and hard work, you will triumph in the end. You might be more ready than you think for this change. But you just want to double check. I'm ready to go on this trip, but I need to go through my checklist again, make sure I got everything done. Did I pack everything? Did I turn off, the gas? Did I, shut down the water? Am I ready? Can we do this? Are we ready to go or not? Did I stop the paper in the mail? Is the neighbor going to come over and mow the lawn? I think it feels like you have a checklist of things that need to happen before some kind of a major shift or a change can happen. But it is beautiful because here we have this rainbow of the Ten of Cups. Rainbows don't happen unless there's been a storm, but this is very much emotionally satisfying. And it comes with this lion that's carrying this white rose. And the white rose is very much this energy of purity and peace. And he's got the infinity sign for his third eye. It's like infinite peace comes from the strength of a lion. And so the actions to take here is to move forward with the strength of a peaceful lion to create the emotional satisfaction that you're seeking. Because here we have listening with your heart and awakening ancient wisdom. And there was this card of wisdom here also. And the third eye is lit up here. And so it's almost like trusting your inner knowing, trusting yourself, that you really actually have the timing that you're worried about. I feel like you will know when the timing comes. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. Deep inner knowing is emerging within me. And so you're really being invited into your emotional space to really connect in with that emotional energy so that you know what is going on and you're good to go here. I think December is a time to really connect in with your heart space. And what do you feel about a situation? And this delay energy here. I think that it feels like you're the one dragging your feet. But it'll be okay. So you have a lot of swords coming up here in January. And they're the two hard ones. Swords are generally hard, but on your thoughts, you have this Ten of Swords. But I want you to see, it is the phoenix that is rising from the ashes. You know something's coming to a completion. You're aware of that. But I think that in December, you also recognize that you have the strength and the resilience to manifest and create for yourself what you want in the next stage and phase. And so I think as the end of 2023 approaches and 2024 beckons, you are wise enough to see the writing on the wall that something's going to happen. So the question becomes, how do I rise from the ashes? I think that you're spending a lot of time in the consideration of the situation that has been a loss. That loss may not be, doesn't have to be such a big deal. Big deal is not the right word I'm looking for here. Devastating. It doesn't have to be devastating. It's a portal, an opportunity. When one door closes, another one opens. And so sometimes, oh wow, I haven't seen that in a while. A few years ago, they showed me this a lot. I haven't seen this in a while. So what I'm seeing is this long hallway that you're walking down, and there's these doors that line both sides, and they're constantly moving, and it's like, and they're translucent. You can't see through them, but you can see the light coming through. But every once in a while, an opening opens, and there is a short window of time in which to get through that one. So you have to look and see, is this what I want? And if not, you just keep moving, and they keep moving. And so these doors and windows, it's like this sliding energy. And so when you find something isn't for you, maybe you thought it was for you, maybe you really wanted it to be for you, but it's not for you. The willingness to have the strength and the resilience to allow yourself to rise again like the phoenix. Because in the heart space, we have this King of Cups. The Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups is resting and relaxing. He looks really melancholy, though. I think he's thinking back. He's got his journal out. He's got some pictures out. He's leaning against a tree, and he's just nurturing himself and healing. And he looks very grounded, right? He's very much about getting back to nature and back to what you have going on. I didn't even look at these cards I pulled. Oh, my God. No kidding. So we have the card of the why, understanding why something happened, and we have conflict and chaos. And conflict and chaos is the winds of change blowing, basically. It's like this giraffe-colored zebra. The wind is whipping off all of the giraffe print off of him, but it's revealing the true him, the zebra underneath. And so not only will you, oh my God, not only will you rise again, but you will be more comfortable in your own skin. That is the why of what is happening. It is about coming home to yourself. Wow. You know, I've had this deck forever. I've never gotten that message off the card. It's number 33. It's the energy of the Christ of Light, is the energy of the Empress. There's also the energy of healing. 6 is very much a healing energy. In your heart space, you're being asked to focus on what would be emotionally comfortable and satisfying for you. I don't see it here, but I gotta tell you what I just saw in my head. I saw this guy just sitting here and then picking up a chalice and dipping it in the emotional waters and filling up his own cup of love. His own cup. What would do that for you? There's a need to define that. You have your raw intention. And there we have the flower of life as in the center there. It's a seed. It's the number 1. It's the seed of intention that you will nurture and water with your own emotional energy. You will grow from your emotional energy, whatever your energy is. Anger can grow, more anger and resentment. Self-love grows more opportunities for other people to reflect to us our own love of ourselves through their kindness and respect and compassion for us. It is hard to be in a good, nurturing relationship with someone else if you aren't in one with yourself first. It always begins there. And so I think in January, you may find yourself needing to really take care of yourself. There are big changes happening. Some of them I feel are being forced on you. I picked that up on something else. I don't remember where it was. But I do feel like there's the changes may not be exactly what you want, but you see the writing on the wall. You know the changes is coming. So here in the action we have a 3 of Swords. She's sitting there with the key on the table. Looks like she's crumpling up, I don't know, some kind of a bill. And it could be the eviction notice because there's a moving van out there. So not necessarily something you wanted to do, but something that I feel like there's an awareness. And I think you see it coming already in November. I think things come to a conclusion. You know, Uranus and Taurus, when it stations direct, that would be that moment when everything shifts, especially because that energy trines yours. And so there's a change coming toward the end of this period. And what can you do? You can get yourself ready for it, right? You see it. It gives you the opportunity to become the real you, to let your light shine out there. So we have the card of the Falcon, commitment, instinct, and boldness. I am totally committed and focused upon my goals. So what are your goals? Joy and happiness, prosperity, you know, right? But they're just, when it's the feeling is the goal, the feeling of what means accomplishment to you, the vehicle to accomplishment can change. So if, for instance, you know, the goal is to get to the Grand Canyon, right? So you have rented a camper, you've loaded it up with all your stuff, you set out on the road, and then the camper breaks down, and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you can't even get a hold of, you know, you don't have the cell phone's not working, whatever, right? So there's no cell tower or whatever. And so you flag down a trucker, and the trucker says, well, I'll take you to the next town. So then you get to the next town, and you call the camper rental place, and they're like, wow, we can't get anybody out to that place, you know, for a few days. You know, you're going to have to, you know, hunker down there till we can send you something. And meanwhile, the trucker said, hey, I could take you to the next town over, you know. So you're like, you know what? I'm just going to, you guys come get that. I'm done. And I want my money back. And then you hop into the truck and you go to the next town. And in the next town, you rent a car. and you buy some camping supplies, and you start heading toward the Grand Canyon in that direction. And so it's not like the vehicle to get to the Grand Canyon is not the goal. The goal is to get there and catch the sunrise or the sunset or the Grand Canyon, right? That's the goal. And so the vehicle to get you to your goal, I think, is what is, right? Because we have this boat, it's leaving. Feels like the vehicle that you thought was going to get you to your destination is what is not the same. But you are resilient and you will rise. And what will happen out of this is you will become more of who you truly are. The chaos of the conflict will allow you to become more you. More of the real you. And so you are more skilled than you give yourself credit for, but you will only realize your abilities and develop them further by putting yourself to the test. This card of conflict and chaos. Step up and act and go for it with gusto. Believe that you can handle yourself in any situation that arises. Change your mind or your direction without hesitation based on what your intuition is telling you at any given moment. This Queen of Cups sitting here in the middle. Things here are a little topsy-turvy, and you're going to have to trust your instincts, right? You're going to have to really trust yourself. You will achieve when you head straight for a goal. As an emblem of success, Falcon heralds a victory. So commit yourself wholeheartedly. Do not give up until you get to where you want to go. There is a delay in some sort of a trajectory that you thought you were on, but I think it's the vehicle to the victory that is changing. So let's say, for instance, you want to be in an emotionally satisfying, loving relationship, and you started dating a guy. But you started out, you're looking at him going, I don't know if this is really going to work. And maybe over Christmas, or the holiday season, whatever you celebrate, you take this guy home to the family, and the family's like, that guy? And you're like, yeah, he's just, and he does something, he says, he's just not, he doesn't fit in with what you were hoping for in some way or the other. The relationship you're looking for is out there. This isn't where you're going to find it. But if you hang on, you may miss the next opportunity. You won't miss an opportunity. There will always be another one. But I feel like the more flexible you are, the more willing you are to release and let things go, the more willing you are to try something new and to move forward, the quicker, the shorter, the more direct the path. Your versatility matters. And being a mutable sign, that's like a superpower, right? That is a total superpower. So commit to yourself wholeheartedly. Do not give up until you get where you want to go. I am totally committed and focused on my goal. Whatever that goal is, I think something is definitely shifting and changing. Look, you have the card of the peacock. I love that. It's a lot of wisdom, right? The peacock feather represents the wisdom of Hera, the ability to see what's really going on and strategize. Overcoming negativity, divine beauty, you are worthy. I see the divine beauty within me and share it freely for the greatest good. Your spirit guides are bringing you a message of love, faith, and protection. You had the card of protection right here. This is the wisdom, too, coming through, right? This peacock. I don't care if this card says it or not. That's what I keep hearing. There's this inner wisdom and knowledge in trusting the process, right? Trusting the process. So now is a fertile time to pray and receive loving guidance. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. The loving guidance. I've lost where I was, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm having a hard trouble finding it. Your spirit guides are bringing you a message of love, faith, and protection. Now is the time to pray. A fertile time to pray and receive loving, empowering, effective responses from the universe. Trust the divine completely. Allow it to draw out the depths of your beauty, grace, and sacred purpose. Rise above petty agendas and refuse to engage in ego-driven interactions. Instead, affirm and express yourself from the heart. You can develop spiritual vision, inner sight, psychic awareness, and channel divine energies for guidance. This is what this Knight is doing here. You will overcome. You will overcome. The phoenix rising from the ashes. The effects of poisonous behavior from your past through spiritual intervention and grace. Your soul is gifted with being able to create a resplendent beauty in this world. You are emerging into something really beautiful. The growth is happening in the heart space, and then it's spreading out into the rest of your life. This is a truly magnificent awakening kind of energy coming through. This is an unfolding, an unfoldment of your soul's beauty and how it presents itself into the world and what it draws and attracts from there. I can't see. But I can see that there's a lot of chaos and conflict that is going to reveal the inner, beautiful, true you, where you get to feel at home in your own skin. And that is the greatest gift any of us can ever give ourselves, is that acceptance of who we really are and seeing the beauty in ourselves. And also, I just heard you will earn your stripes, right? The zebra. You will earn your stripes. Wow, Virgo, that is quite the reading. So I wish you a lot of success with this. I look forward to seeing you again in January. I am going to release the year ahead for you guys in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Come and join me on Facebook. I'm going to stay on Facebook during this hiatus. I do a lot of astrology, but I pull cards with it over there. And so I'd love to see you and have you join me over there. You guys take great care. Thank you for supporting this channel, and I'll talk to you again soon.